What's going on, guys? Welcome back, or welcome to the first time to this channel. Welcome is really all I can say. We're back. We have another football season upon us. It's so close. We are so close. What we're going to do is, some of you don't know what all we have to offer at fantasyteamadvisors.com. So season long, specialized in DFS, you can use this for both. But what we're going to do is we're going to break down each position each week. So the plan is, so this is the matchup tool. That currently what you can see on the screen right now is our NFL matchup tool. This is for week 1. So the roster cuts are already done. We should be good to go. We haven't had, I believe I've edited this to get all of the injured players out of this, and whoever's going to be replacing them added on. If you see someone that I've maybe missed, since I am going through, don't mind my dog, I am going through all of this. I hand do this every single week. So a like on this video goes a very long way. Subbing to our YouTube channel, or even subbing to our Fantasy Team Advisors FTA Plus obviously helps more, but this is all hand done, and I do this every week. Normally, I get the stats out. It's normally out by Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays, but a lot of information to dig into. So this is going to be the QB section. So we're going to look at the QB section. Now we're going to go through some numbers. I know you might not be able to see it on the screen completely, but it is on our website. All you got to do is go to fantasyteamadvisors.com. Hover over NFL tab and go down to the matchup tool right here, and you'll be able to see this. So looking at this, now obviously we can only go through 2021 or 2020 stats. So we're probably not going to be able to really get a grasp on how the defenses are doing in 2021. Week 6, give or take. Maybe a little bit sooner. We'll definitely check that out. But a lot of information goes into here. Now, I have questions. I get questions all the time. How do I read this? So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to dig in. We're going to look at all of this. We're going to see what all these stats means. You can go right here, go to NFL. It'll take you to the matchup tool. Let's just open it here so I can show you what it looks like on the website. And then you can make it bigger, which I will definitely show you. So with the matchup tool, obviously it's not going to show everything because there's a lot of information. So it is not, I guess, mobile friendly, because there's so much information, so many columns that you have to check, that it's better to be seen on a computer. So again, I do apologize. A lot of people like to do it mobile, but when you're playing for your money, when you're building your lineups, or you're trying to set your season-long lineup, this will come in handy. So you can go down to the bottom here, you can click this little button here, and it'll open it up into a full screen here. Now, I don't know if you have to have OneDrive, your own account, or you can see what it is, but it'll open it up. And then down at the bottom, you can go QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and that'll be what that's what this is. So before we dig into it, I do want to offer you guys something really awesome. If you go to fantasyteamadvisors.com, you go to FTA Plus right here, real quick. You've got all of these. So with NFL, it's week and up. So Daily Pass is good for MLB and NBA. Everything else is every other sport. But if you go right here to Yearly Pass, you click on Join FTA Plus now, use promo code 300, you're going to get $300 off a year pass. You're going to get a year pass for $49.99, where a month is $29.99 itself. Year pass, $49.99, gets you every single sport we have to offer. NFL for the full season, MLB, NASCAR, PGA, MMA, NBA, all for $49.99, and we only have 9 coupon codes left. So fantasyteamadvisors.com/plans, click the year pass, use promo code 300. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me, support@fantasyteamadvisors.com. So digging into the quarterback situation here, going just strictly off of here. So what we've done is we've broken, and now you can find this, I mean, this is a free tool that we offer. You can find this on the internet. That is completely true. But you can't really find how it's built out like this. So you can find the stats of the defenses they gave up. You can find the offenses, stuff like that. You can't find this all in one, and we're bringing it to you right here. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Click the NFL tab and check it out there. Sorry about that. My dogs were barking. But what we've done is we've put it all into one tool that I'm going to help you guys figure out how to use. Now, you might not be able to see it on the screen completely, but you can on the website. Because if I make it bigger, it's going to be harder. I mean, we can look at it, and I'll just have to scroll just to make it bigger here. So, these will be updated if need be. But what we've got here is on the left side, you'll see the defenses. So, every single defense here. And this is what they gave up on the entire year of 2020. So the entire NFL season, just for instance, the Detroit Lions gave up 383 completions to the court. Now this is to each position. So these are all to the quarterbacks. So they gave up 383 completions to quarterbacks. They gave up 38 passing touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. So Detroit Lions defense, pretty hot garbage. They were not intercepting people. On the ground, they gave up 6 touchdowns to rushing to the quarterback position. Overall, you can see normal scoring. So your season-long league, 378.72 fantasy points to quarterbacks. On DraftKings, they gave up a total of 406.3. And on FanDuel, they gave up a total of 386.8. Break it down even further. We see fantasy points per game. 23.7 fantasy points to quarterbacks per game last year, 25.4 to DraftKings quarterbacks, and 24.2 to FanDuel quarterbacks. So you can really, really sort this how you want, but just kind of let's say you want to sort it by, let's say for instance you're playing on DraftKings and you want to check that out. So you can sort largest to small. And you can see Atlanta gave up the most amount of points on to quarterbacks on DraftKings last year, averaging about 26.1. Atlanta's defense is pretty damn bad as well. So what you can do is these are all of the stats right here that the defense gave up to quarterbacks the entire season in 2020. So we can scroll over here, which is awesome. Bring this tool here so we can look. You can see the Falcons gave up the most amount of fantasy points on DraftKings to quarterbacks. That brings us Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts here in, and I'm not, now this is where a lot of people go back and forth and don't quite understand it. I'm not saying this is the only quarterback to use in DFS. That's crazy. I'm saying per last year. Now we know the draft happened. Trades happened, signings happened, defenses got better. We can only go off of what we saw last year. We don't know until we get, 6 weeks into the season, give or take. But what I would like to know, does this help you? So, for instance, let's say the Falcons are still hot garbage on defense. That would put Jalen Hurts in a good spot this year. Then what we've done is we've broken down their stats from last year. So, for instance, Jalen Hurts, 15 games played, 77 completions, 148 attempts. We know he was kind of, it says 15, but he didn't come into games a lot. Like, he would just come in for a trick play or something like that. Towards the end of the season, he did get some reps. But that's saying 77 completions on 148 attempts, 52% completion, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 13 sacks. He had 354 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. And then here's what we have. Now, this is the difference. This is what I want to make very, very clear to you. So, the fantasy points per game was that team. It was not that quarterback. So, obviously, Jalen Hurts was not averaging 21.6 DraftKings points and 20.4 FanDuel points. So, this is the scheme of the quarterback in the system on said team. So, Philadelphia's quarterbacks last year averaged 21.6 on DraftKings, 20.4 on FanDuel. So I've given you a lot of stats to look over. Hopefully these do help you out. So if you want to look at Jimmy G, we know he only played 6 games. He's got the second best matchup on DraftKings for quarterbacks against the Lions, the Jets. Sam Darnold playing his old team, revenge factor. That's a thing. You could look at that. So Sam Darnold here. Jets give up the third most amount of fantasy points on DraftKings at 24.1. Looking at Carolina, Darnold last year, 12.8 and 12.7 wasn't very good, obviously being on the Jets. But this is what we can look at. These are a good way. Now, I'm not saying that would be make Patrick Mahomes the number 8 quarterback of the week. Each week we're going to have rankings as well. This is just another tool with a ton of stats to go over. Every single week we're going to have quarterback rankings, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and it's not going to be just, this order right here where it's these quarterbacks, that's it. This is not, I don't want that to be skewed, that this is not the quarterback rankings that we'll have on the website. These are just a tool according to the stats last year. There's a lot of factors to go over. You've got weather factors. That is something that people don't think about. You've got, wind, rain, snow. It's not snow for a while, but you know what I mean. On paper, this would be the order. But we have a lot of things in factor. So it would be, running backs. Who's hurt in running backs for that team? What about wide receivers, tight ends? How's the defense doing? Then another way to do it is if the team is projected to be, down a ton of points. Let's see. So these are the Vegas odds as of today. These will be updated. But just kind of looking at this, who is the biggest underdog here? Just kind of looking. The Lions are 7.5 point favorites, or 7.5 point underdogs, meaning, and this was opening line, meaning you could look at Jared Goff, for instance, being on the Lions this year. He's going to have to sling it a ton. So looking at that, where does he line up at? Thing is, he's going up against San Francisco, down here towards the bottom third, giving up only 18.3 fantasy points. Now, that's not taking into effect that maybe, say San Francisco's up by 20 or 30, Goff is going to have to sling the ball 5, 6. Think about how Dak and the Cowboys were down so much before he got hurt, and he was putting up 50 fantasy points a game because they were down so much. That is another factor to look at. So there's a ton of factors while picking quarterbacks that you will need to look at. According to the list here, yes, this would be and it depends on if you're playing on DraftKings or maybe you're playing on FanDuel. So you go sort largest on FanDuel, Jimmy G, Jalen Hurts, they just flip. Sam Darnold. As of right now, Houston's starting quarterback is Tyrod Taylor. Kyle Murray. The thing is, the Titans had, 9 people on COVID IL the past week or so. That could be another thing. If it affects people differently, their stamina's down, then boom, Kyler Murray would be up the list. There is a ton of information but I hope to help you guys as much as possible. If this video does help you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It does help out. Again, we have 9 coupon codes left for a season long. We will dig into a ton of stuff leading up to kickoff. I will be having a league over on FanDuel and hopefully on DraftKings as well that I would like to get more people into, where weekly it'll be a league where I believe 20 people can play, $5 entry, top 3 win each week. Points accumulate throughout the year, and at the end of the NFL season, whoever has the most amount of points on FanDuel will get a free year subscription to Fantasy Team Advisors Plus, so FTA Plus there. If that's something you're interested in, leave a like. And what I want to do is I want to gauge your guys' interest. Are you interested in us going live more? Lineup locks, so be Thursdays. Depending, I have a kid, so she's got to be asleep before I can, and then she doesn't usually go to bed before lineups lock for Thursday Night Football at 7 p.m. Central, but we can see. We used to go live Sunday mornings before before lock. That was before, and we had a ton of people. We used to get like 80 to 100 people live asking questions. And then last year, now I don't know if a lot of people didn't play just because COVID, they didn't know. But we didn't have very many people live, so we did not go live much. But I do want to bring as much information for fantasy football as possible. Now, while we are centralized more for DFS, you definitely can use this for season long as well. Because, like I said, fantasy points, season long, you can sort that by the largest. It doesn't change much, but you can definitely check that out. But it is centralized more towards DFS. That's why we have fantasy points per game here, DK and FanDuel. And then you can see here, this is season long, and then DK and FanDuel is there. So the quarterback situation, depending on who you're taking, this would be the order to look at. Obviously, things can change between now and kickoff, but we got Jimmy G at number 1 here, according to this matchup. Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Tyrod Taylor, who somehow could lose a starting role again, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Carson Wentz should be in there. We're still waiting on news, but all indications say he will be starting, so this is something to pay attention to. Daniel Jones, Fitzpatrick, Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson making his debut, Tom Brady against Dallas, but that is a Thursday night, the first Thursday night game. So Matt Ryan Tannehill, if he's back from COVID, Ben Roethlisberger, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott. I think he's questionable, but I'm like 99% sure he will be the starter week 1. Got Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford. News was Cam Newton got released. Mac Jones is starting. Cam Newton could get picked up somewhere. I've seen some rumblings. We'll see. We got Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Tua, Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston against the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and for some reason the Bears are still starting Andy Dalton over Justin Fields after Justin Fields had a hell of a preseason. Don't expect Dalton to be in there for very long. But that is the order according to if you're going season-long fantasy points last year. Obviously, things can change. Take into effect weather, Vegas numbers, who's in or who's out in that starting lineup for that team. A lot of factors to go in. So if this did help you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget, 9 coupon codes left to get a season-long for $49.99. I am going to have a contest as well. So if you've stuck around this long, you might know what the contest is. We're going to give away 2 copies of Madden. Depending on what system you have, PlayStation, Xbox, how do you enter this contest? All you have to do, be a subscriber to all of our social media, our YouTube page here, and anyone who purchases a package, whether or not that's a day pass, a week, a month, or the season-long pass, for the month of September, you'll be entered in here. So each pass, so you get a day pass, that's 1 entry. You get a week pass, that's 10 entries. You get a month pass, that's 25 entries. You get a year pass, that's 50 entries into this contest. What we do is we take the names, however many times, we put them in a spreadsheet. Then at the end of the month, and we've done this before multiple times, at the end of the month, we'll put all of the names into random.org. We'll randomize it an X amount of number of times, which will be decided upon. Most likely it's like 5 to 10. And then the winner will be contacted. They'll have normally 48 hours to let us know if FanDuel, PlayStation or Xbox, and a code will be sent to you for that. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely check out fantasyteamadvisor.com. I will put out a video separately on that as well, but I want to bring that to your attention. That's what we're looking at. Be on the lookout for everything on Fantasy Team Advisors leading up to kickoff for season 2021 NFL FanDuel DraftKings season long. We're here for you, and I would love to know what you guys, if you guys want more in these videos, let me know what you would like in these videos. I plan on doing weekly videos breaking this down, plan on doing weekly ranking videos for that week. Normally come out Wednesdays, give or take, maybe Thursdays in daytime. But yeah, A lot of awesome information coming for you guys. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you can put them down below here, or you can always email me, support@fantasyteamadvisor.com. And don't forget, hit us up on all social media here. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and as always, please subscribe to this YouTube page as well. That's what I've got for you guys. Good luck this week 1 of NFL. Let's bring them some bacon. Peace.